So we have a small moment. Our brother Keith Mitchell is coming. Appreciate you, Raquel. Brother. So it's been a long journey with Mr. Keith Mitchell. I know I talked about skating last time. I'm gonna give you a little thought on football. This brother right here used to be the best lineman. He used to hit people really hard. And you may not think football is important, but there's many geometries to football, you know. Does anybody know who Amma is or the God? Has anybody, have any of your women have ever stand like this? Okay. So I want you to just picture this. So when you standing like this, right, that's the prayer. What does that look like when you stand? That's a goal post. That's a goal post, okay? And what happens when you get the touchdown? What do you need to do when you get a touchdown? You ain't done. You ain't done. You got to line up, and you got to kick that ball through the goalpost. Okay? I'll give you another thought. When you're squatting as a woman, what you doing when you squat? You birth. Hit. 73, 43. Right? Okay? You're about to birth that football. You're about to birth that lesson. Boom! You're going to kick, and you're going to go through that goalpost, that touchdown. The lines of the football field, that's the realms. That's the Arctic. That's the North and South Pole. You're going to go beyond the poles. When you kick that touchdown, you go beyond the poles. It's sacred geometry. Sports is a sacred geometry. It's more than you think. And this brother was the best out of 6 billion people. There was only 4 people in his particular time, so that it's a gift to be in that space. And don't let sports or skateboarding or anything that fool you. It's an important thing. It's all beautiful. So without loving to do, we're gonna bring Keith Mitchell up. All right, brother Ho.
Oh, thank you so much, John, for that introduction. You can go with the music. You keep the cue to music again. So we're going to go into a simple movement like we're going to do, since we're in chairs, we can do chair meditation. So those who are at home, those who are here, we'll just get into chair meditation. Go ahead and cue the music, please. Yeah. And just bring it down just a little bit. This is more like a kind of Zen flow. So kind of allow yourself to get into whatever comfortable position you desire. Some of you are already in a very comfortable position here. I just want you to take in your breath through your nose. Deep breath, inhale through the nose. Just taking all this energy that we just witnessed here. And ground that breath naturally through your body. So big inhale, breathe. And exhale, let it out. And maybe you want to close your eyes here. Maybe if you feel safe enough to close your eyes and just check in with your breath. Again, this is a processing mechanism. Now breathing is processing what we just took in, what we just experienced. Breathe it in. And exhale, let it out. On the next breath, we're going to hold it at the top. So big inhale, we're going to hold this at the very top. So big inhale, inhale. We're going to hold. Hold. And exhale, side all the way out. We're going to do that one more time. So big inhale, inhale. Breathe in all that prana, that life force, that chi. Just breathe it in. And hold it at the top. Hold. And exhale, side all the way out. And just notice how you feel. Again, processing all that you've just taken in, the indigenous way, the blessings, these prayers, these ancient prayers, these mantras. And just see how it resonates within your body. Feel it in your soul. Breathe. We're going to introduce a little bit of movement, just simple movement, not too much, but just moving the body. As we get older, we have to activate this circulation through the body, because the body can't just, we kind of expect our heart to kind of push all that nutrients through our bodies, and that's not the case. So we have to help it out. So we have to move. Things get stagnant. So we've got to move our bodies. So we're going to rotate the neck to the right. So big rotation to the right. And those who may not be familiar with the yoga practice or Jungian practice, I want to introduce you to your neck and breathe as your introduction to your neck. And just notice how you feel. Notice how it speaks to you. Breathe. And if you're going fast, go slow. If you're going slow, maybe go a little bit slower. Inhale, breathe. On the next exhale, let's rotate it to the opposite direction. So if you're going to the right, you're going to go to the left. As you find this movement, still stay grounded in your sit bones. Stay grounded in that intention that you're creating for this day, for you. Processing everything that you're experiencing here. On the next exhale, we're going to come to center. Just going to focus on the lower lumbar and just notice how you feel in alignment with your spine. Breathe. And just notice what shifted, what changed. On the next exhale, we're going to take our hands overhead and we're going to keep our hands lifted. Both hands. Interlace their fingers and press the palms to the sky. Inhale, breathe here. If you want to take your gaze up, and what you'll notice here, you're creating space around the rib cage so those lower extremities can get oxidated, can get this blood flow. What happens is we put all that pressure on the heart, and the heart can't just do it by itself, as I said earlier. So we got to help our bodies out. We have to cooperate with ourselves by getting to know ourselves. And maybe you lean to the right, so lean to your right. And just a slight lean. Pressing up. Maybe you take your gaze to the left corner of your eye, just up into the sky. Yeah. Just notice how you feel. On the next exhale, we're going to extend to the left. Just rock it to the other side. And just notice one side from the other. What changes? What's different? And maybe you take your gaze to the sky and see what's there. In this, we find that curiosity of self, this discovery, kind of like the childlike. We were talking about this the other night. The childlike is that freedom. And what's happened is we've gone through these traumas and it's compartmentalized in our bodies and we get stuck. We get stagnant. So we get to open up these channels and allow ourselves to move and break free those chains. And a lot of those chains are psychological. Next exhale, come to center. And bring our hands into prayer. Yeah. We're going to play with this energy. I just want you to rub your hands out. Just rub your hands as hard, as fast as you can. Just playing with that energy. And exhale, take your hands apart. And just notice the energy. And just feel who you are. A lot of times we say remember. But sometimes we can't, remembrance is kind of so distant. But with the feeling, I can touch this. I can feel this. I can feel that there's something there. So that curiosity begins to evoke another discovery of what's possible for me. Who am I? What are my limits? What's possible for me in this moment, in this life? And the reason why I want you to acknowledge yourself and your energy and how you possess it, because that same energy is what we're going to need to stand united. That energy is what we're going to need to stand in our greatest power, to defend ourselves from what's happening, the injustices on this planet. You matter, and how we show up matters. Relax your hands and bring your hands to your lap and just, again, notice how you feel. Feeling makes us human. The greatest form of love is compassion. What happens is through that trauma that we compartmentalize in our bodies, it makes us numb, it desensitizes. But when we can remember the feeling, when we can actually feel ourselves, it makes us, it brings back that empathy. That empathy makes us human. In sports, we have this saying, this mantra, let's be great today. Let's work on getting better today. Every day we would say this mantra. Now imagine what it's like if we as humans come to grips with ourselves and say, let's be great today. And a lot of times people get uncomfortable with this word greatness. But this greatness doesn't mean to take over the world and, put the ripple in the whole world, to change the whole world. That greatness is if I desire love, if I desire to love my family, if I desire to love my neighbor. Well, why can't I be great in that? If I desire to forgive, well, why can't I be great in that? And what you'll find is that shift will happen in a way that you've never imagined. Because when that dynamic changes, that chemistry changes in your body, and you realize that shift, that change, your health changes, your relationship changes. What you'll find is you'll have this openness to receive the love that you truly desire. That's the awakening. Because when we really engage in this dynamic of love, we'll fight for it. And not fight in an unconstructional way, but fight from the standpoint, I'll choose to stand more in this place than the other. Realizing that life comes with that polarity, and just the nature of life is going to bring us to the left, to the right. But in realizing the love that I can receive it, and I can be inspired to realize that I can have it the next day, than this moment, it makes me want to stay more in that way. In my classes, I always ask the person, what does 100% loved up you look like on this plane? Imagine you 100% loved up and what that looks like in your day-to-day. Are you temperamental? Are you easily agitated? How are you functioning? And what you'll find is you'll feel that serenity, you feel that peace. And even as myself, I come from that warrior background, but that's not what I need to lead with. I choose to lead, I choose to come in peace. I choose to come and stand heart first, heart open. To always be learning in the posture of just receiving and being open to staring, you look at you in the eyes and sharing, this is who I am, these are my gifts, this is my truth. This is how I speak, this is how I stand. And equally you would do the same. Breathe. And allow yourself to just simply trust the process. Again, if the change is going to happen, it will be us that will create it. This is a perfect example of what that can look like. Let's bring our hands into prayer and just honoring your participation in this new thought, new idea in some cases. As we say, peace within sees the peace within you. One big inhale. Namaste. Thank you. Sweet. Thank you.